people can just pick it up, and there's a card attached to that. They write their name and phone number on the card, hand you the card, because the card has a date and time on it, so you don't have to look up and write everything. It's all written out. They grab the envelope that has the date and time. They hand you the card with the name and number on it, because the card matches the envelope.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
and
that's nice.
You can take it, and that'll save you time. So when we do workshops professionally, we have 20, 30 people. We don't want a line of people waiting a half hour to sign up. So you pick the envelope that matches the time that you need, write your name and number on the card, hand the card in. We have the scheduled appointment, the appointment scheduled, and we can take that back, and really within 5-10 minutes we can schedule mass amount of people.
That's awesome, because when you're having those larger groups, people do not want to wait. They will leave. They're like, people have other things. Everybody today is like so busy. So that's a great way to do that.
Yeah, can you share your welcome letter too that you do?
I can share it, but
well, it doesn't cater.
Well, I'll change it to a doTERRA one.
Yes, so give us a couple of weeks and we'll get it together for you.
But you have them coming back to the same spot, correct?
He does this in his office.
You're doing it in your office, so they know they're going to come back there.
If I go out and do a workshop somewhere in the community, and I'll travel up to 20 miles.
Yeah, but they.
But how do you do that with the envelope?
Follow-up appointment.
So the envelopes are already pre-made for my office.
For your office, so you're having them come back to your office.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
So if you were doing it tailored, she's saying, where would you have them come back for the appointment? Because I usually meet them at a coffee shop at different places. If you're doing it that way,
so on the welcome letter offered 2 or 3 options, no more than 3. We can do, we can do it as we call to confirm the appointment.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to call to confirm the appointment within 48 hours, and choose whether you want to do it at your home, at this place, at place A or place B.
Or give them a box with which place they prefer to be at. But then you got to watch your appointment.
No, because they're keeping the letter. So what you're doing is you're saying in your letter that you're going to follow up with a phone call in the next 48 hours to confirm their appointment with you, and they get to choose 1 of 3 places, of which you'll be asking them when you call. In a vendor show, you may not, the person on the fly might not be able to answer that question. Oh, where am I going to be on that day?
I just do phone calls at vendor events, but if I'm doing a local class, then a lot of times I'll meet them. And to Dave's point, they say you are much more better if you can meet that person face to face. You're building that trusting relationship. So I would encourage you, if you're driving 50 miles to meet them to get them to enroll, you need to drive that 50 miles again to get them to do LRP. Because LRP, that's your residual income. That is your ongoing business. So sometimes we think, oh, well, they enrolled, we're good to go, and we slack off. The LRP and getting them on, the second appointment, your LSO, and getting them an LRP is almost the most important. Because that's one of the things with the vendor events, you don't have that as much of a relationship when you are sitting at a class or a one-to-one meeting. You're really developing that relationship, and people stick with you a whole lot longer. So I honestly, for vendor events, you got to work harder. You get more people, but you got to work harder to keep them. So, but it's all good. We're helping people no matter which way we're doing it. So. Yeah, all that prep work we can do to have our systems in place, it's going to save you so much on the back end, and it offers a really nice customer experience, because we want to make it as seamless as possible for our customers. So if we start making things too complicated, then we're going to lose them. So my please recruit responsible, they're like, the whole thing with doTERRA, it's very simple. We sell oils, we teach others to sell, and we develop leaders. That's all we do. So under each one of those categories, there's a lot of different things we do, and that's when we're kind of breaking some of this down. But if you start to feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much, back it up. You sell oils, you teach others to sell oils, and you develop leaders. That's all we do. So sometimes we overwhelm ourselves. So, and I've been guilty of that myself. So I'm like, wait a second, this should not be that complicated. And that Eric Worre book going around talks about that too. So let's say we have our appointment set up. You always want to do a reminder. Dave says he does a 40-hour phone call. Some people do a 24-hour call. I usually do a text reminder the morning of, or if it's a morning appointment, I'll do it the evening before. But so many people, just like dentist office, other offices are sending out, either calls or doing text reminders. It's just a courtesy, and it substantially helps to keep that appointment. We're also busy, even though we got.
And you don't want to show up and they forgot about it, because that's not fun.
Wasting your time, yes.
So you always want to double check and get the confirmation that, hey, we have an appointment tomorrow, I'm so excited to see you. And I always invite people to bring a guest. The more the merrier. If you'd like to bring a guest with you, that'd be super awesome. Even though they don't know about oils or whatever, I always invite them to bring a guest with them. because now you're meeting someone else that may want to talk to you, and they're getting education as well. So you always want, the more the merrier, is what I always say to every single person.
You know what's nice too, I mean that's for one-on-ones, but even a class, if you go to somebody's home and you're teaching a class and most people order, ask ahead of time with your host, say, if it's possible, can we schedule something in 2 weeks where you come back and they come back with all of their oils and you do this as one group setting.
That actually works better, I find. With classes, I've actually started doing that. Or I find out that the people that were in the class, a couple of people know each other and they come together, and the membership overview actually, I can say everyone really signs on for LRP when you do it as a group more than if you do it individually. I find the individual ones, it's a little harder because they're not really getting it, but everyone kind of, when you do it as a group overview, everyone kind of plays off each other. And they're like,
pressure there?
Well, it's not even, they don't even feel that, but they're all like, oh my gosh, I need this. And they get really excited, and it's very rare that somebody's like, I don't want to talk to you about what my issue is. That's a rarity. And I always ask them, because if they really felt like they needed to talk to you about something separate, they're going to say, can I talk to you separate? They're really going to message you separately, but to do it as a group, I find actually works better, and I've been changing it up to do it more of a group rather than individual, unless it's just a
So you meet for the presentation, and then you meet as a group as the open kit?
As the lifestyle overview, I'm finding that works better. And Deb's been with me a couple times doing it. We've done it a couple with her, and it just, sometimes, I don't know, you're still done in an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, depending. But we have 3 or 4 people, and you're still doing it all together. You're saving yourself time. And actually, everybody appreciates, like, they kind of work together, and they're all like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And then they're excited about putting their order in, and they all just do it and put their order in right then. And almost everyone always orders right then. We set up their LRP, but they ship it now. And everybody, so it's ready to, I'm getting my order, it's coming in right now. And they're all excited. And everybody leaves really excited and really happy. And I'm finding that works so much better.
It creates positive energy.
I like the group more. And I'm really, so every class, I'm starting to add that at the end. We're going to do a follow-up appointment. If everyone would like to come back together, let's do this in 2 weeks. And we try to book a date that everyone can. And sometimes there's somebody who can't, which is fine. I will do, one-to-one with them. But I'm finding most people are like, oh, cool, we get to get back together in 2 weeks.
Make it a party.
So it makes it kind of fun.
And it also, if somebody couldn't come to that first presentation, they can still come as the brand new person, and we'll kind of catch them up. So it works that way too. So let's jump in. We've got this, and now Amy's got scripts she's going to hand out when she gets up here, because she's got it down the whole emerge way. I kind of, I have more of a cowboy approach. I just kind of wing it, because once you start teaching these, again, you don't need the tool. You do it. But I mean, the marketing, these are beautiful. I've gotten so many positive compliments, and people just love this. So, but what I have learned inside the front cover, does everybody have one?
No.
I've got some extras here.
I did not have to.
You can download them, and but when you open the front cover, it talks about the mission of doTERRA, and this really needs to be, we can set our own personal mission slightly different, but we're all about creating a healer in someone's own home. Like, Doug, I want you to be the healer in your own home. Not saying you don't go to the doctor, but you know natural ways to healthfully take care of yourself and your family. So that's what our mission is. So I do share that because I want people to know what our goal and what our mission is with doTERRA. And from there, it flows into this wellness pyramid. So everything we teach at doTERRA is based on this wellness pyramid. So I asked folks to rate themselves 1 through 10. And I just give them a brief idea of eating healthy. I tell them, you don't have to eat salads all day, every day. That's not what we're talking about. Exercise is moving your body. It's not doing, a 20-mile bike ride every day. Rest and managing stress. Those are 2 separate ones put in there together, because we need to talk about stress, and then we need to talk about getting adequate rest. Reducing toxic load. Most people still do not know what that means. That's getting rid of the pesticides, herbicides, the hormones in our foods, but it's personal care items. It's our green cleaning products, our household cleaning products. So we really want to take the time to touch base on that. And then the being informed, I always say, that's what you're doing now by, meeting with me. You're learning more to take care of yourself and your family. And then the proactive medical care. I will share with them that doTERRA has started membership-based clinics. And there's some other physicians and medical providers out there that are also doing membership based. That means it's not driven by your insurance company. They're really looking at root causes of issues, and they're giving you the type of natural products that you're going to need to heal your body. So I really have them rate. And then on here, and I always want to stress, what do you think eating right's at the bottom?
Foundation.
Absolutely. If we don't have a solid foundation, we make it simple. Go back to the 3 little pigs. Which house stood in the windstorm? The one that had the solid foundation, right? So we start there. And the color coordination, each of the next 2 pages, and I don't go through everything on the pages because this would take probably an hour and a half or longer. But we really want to stress the Lifelong Vitality, which are whole food supplements. And spend a little bit, there's videos, you can go to YouTube and you can look up Lifelong Vitality, Dr. Josh Axe, he doesn't do doTERRA now, his mother has his account. So he still is involved behind the scenes, but you'll want to take a look at why you want a whole food supplement. And this is an excellent one to get people on. And if you can get them started with their whole food supplement on their first LRP order, that's a wonderful thing, because we need to have that good healthy nutrition. It gives us the phytonutrients at the cellular level. And then I just share that each page there's recipes and different other supporting products that could help you. So if they had, like maybe they're still using toxic chemicals to clean their house, like that's their overall lowest one, I will jump to that section. So I'm not spending time, but I might let them know a couple of things based on their scores. But the toxic one, that's one of my favorites. We do have a 30-day cleanse that's listed out right here for folks. So and I let them know this is a gentle cleanse. It's more at the cellular level. It's not going to be making you run to the bathroom like a barium enema, because people think detoxing and cleansing, they think they're going to be tied to the toilet. But all your personal care items, shampoo, skincare, your toothpaste, your green cleaning. So, and I let them know if they go back to the doTERRA blog, just where at your main screen, doTERRA.com, there's a science blog and there's also a DIY blog. So if they want to get into making some of their household or personal care products, tons of recipes and support there. This page right here, if there's a certain body system, here's some beginning oils that will help you support that.
I love that page. I kept that page on my clipboard at the Veg Fest.
Oh, okay.
Something, just in case somebody asked me real quick, I had a really quick reference. So.
Awesome. Tons of great protocols there. So then this next page, did you guys see we posted, maybe you got the email from doTERRA, there's new LRP kits, and they all had a different color frame around them. Guess what? They match these. So if somebody, it's like, I really need help with getting my food, that's my low area, then order that LRP kit. If somebody really wants to work on the exercise, so they're all set up to be really nice. And I think that Healthy Habits kit, that's going to become a regular kit, but then these are specific, so it really makes it so much easier versus you trying to, when you're starting out. I mean, we want them to look in the book because we want them to, again, become that healer in their own home. And if we show them, they don't know if you know or not. And you guys have heard me say, because I got the same little things I say over and over, but it really impacted me when somebody's like, show them, because you're empowering them and they don't know if you know or not. Because I still don't know everything. There's so much in here. I mean, and this is one. There's other books as well. But our whole goal is to empower them. So if you keep that in the back of your mind, it's not about what you know or don't know. Show them the resources, and then they can run with it. Wellness consult. When I get here, I will ask them, so what are 3 things that you would like, or what are your like wellness goals or 3 health concerns? Some people say, what do you want more of? What do you want less of? When we actually do our class in this handout, when you get to the one section, it's like, what do you want more of? Maybe people want more energy, they want more sleep, they want more peace. Maybe they want less pain, they want, fewer headaches, they want, less whatever. But just we keep it very simple. We don't get into medical terminology. But and this gives us a point. So based on the oils they have already, maybe they said they do want more energy. So in the starter kits, peppermint's in there. So they can put peppermint in their water. So maybe you tell them put 1 or 2 drops, or tell them look at the bottle. Right on the bottles it says 1 drop in 4 ounces of liquid. So that's the standard for all the oils. It's right there. So you could put on here in the morning, maybe it's after lunch, people, you know, when they eat, they get really tired. So have them put peppermint in or just breathe it in. You know, how we do at classes, just, I say 2 fingers, give them just 1 drop. And I really emphasize the 3 breaths because it goes right up your olfactory, right back in the limbic system of your brain. So the oils, you know, there's hundreds of different compounds in each drop of oil. So, but each plant has different chemical profiles. So it's going to wake you up, it's going to calm you down, it's going to help balance your moods or give you the energy. So that's why I like to do those 3 breaths. But right here also, it talks about using frankincense under your tongue every day. Do you guys know why we do that?
Prevention.
Yep. Anything else?
Memory.
I was going to say the everything. It's the key. It's the everything.
So all
It's
those
gonna
are
help.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. And it really helps to get your internal inflammation, helps to, so it's preventative in that way, but it really helps to get down the internal inflammation in your body. And just by living in this toxic world that we're in, I think everybody needs that today. But it talks about putting lemon in their water. So here's some basic things that you can check off, or check ones that apply to them. It has the lifelong vitality down here. But then this area up here, give them a guide. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but give them a couple of things to get going. If you give them 25 things to do you think they're going to do all 25? They're probably going to be overwhelmed and like throw up their hands and forget it. But if you give them 2, 3, 4 things to do, they're probably going to do it. And then if there's things like maybe they specifically say there's thyroid issues, maybe they've got Lyme's disease, or, you know, you can, this is your wish list. These are the things you want to look at next time. So based on some of the health concerns, you can put that down. And honestly, I start a little bit because I'll say when I give them the book, they're obligated to a 100-point order the following month. So I let them know, I said, well, next we're going to talk again in 2 weeks. That's how I like to do it because I like to keep that relationship going and give them small bits versus a whole bunch at once that they're going to be like, what did you say? But I'll say, here's the 2 charts of how we do the loyalty rewards order. Your account is set up to order again next month. So let's talk again in 2 weeks, and then we'll finalize what it is you want after you get going. So that's kind of how I do that first appointment. Like I try to do that. If you do it, if it's a class and they're ordering the oils, do it almost like a day or 2 after they get their oils. The sooner you get it. Emerge teaches, there's the emotional, what do you call it? It's the
roller coaster.
Roller coaster, thank you. So when somebody's at the high of that emotional, you know, they're excited about it, you want to keep that going. But if it's been 2 weeks after they've had their oils and they sat, that dips. The excitement is down. It's harder to get them back up. So if you can, you know, ride that wave, just like if you're surfing, ride the waves, right? So I have that call within just a couple of days of them getting their oils, and then 2 weeks later, roughly. Now, depending on when their order date is set up and their schedule, I mean, life happens, right? But when we come back the next time, I always ask them, what questions do you have for me? I set my agenda. What I typically do, this is emerged language, what I typically do is, at this appointment is, you know, answer your questions, show you, you know, how to get into your account and order, and, you know, on the back right here, I have them write their account number, and you guys, I'm going to keep saying some of these things because it's so important. Password, everybody that I enroll, it's doTERRA 1 with a capital D. If you want to have something different, but just have one thing, because people always are coming back to me, I can't get into my account. And sometimes they change it, and I mean, because you know, doTERRA's not open on Sundays, and sometimes live chat's not available, so we are often that go-to person. So make your life easier, I haven't put that down right there. And then at that second appointment, we really focus on just this back page. They'll usually have questions since they've been using their products for a little bit, but then we really are looking at getting them logged into their account, and now with the, what is it called, the authentication of the account, they're going to get a text, so they have to get in. So I do that when I'm with them, because on occasion we've had to then call doTERRA, so we do a 3-way call so we can get in. And then, because they have 100 points that they're obligated to with the book. So I have them look at this chart down here. This is your LRP. To be on LRP, even if you order just one item, you can keep it active. I've had people that have gotten up to like 25% off, like, oh my gosh, my transmission went, I just can't do it this month. But even if they'll order a lip balm or, you know, a 5-point items are lowest. So if they order one of those, it's going to hold whatever points in their percentage earned. So it locks them in. If they do 50 points, they're gonna be able to earn the additional 10, and it grows up to 30%. So every 3 months, this increases. So I have them look right at it, because it seems like people get confused with these two. So as I'm talking, I have them look at it, because people learn in different ways. Some people are visual, some are auditory, but I try to have them look at it right as we're doing it. If they do 100 points, you're eligible for bonuses and commissions if you are a wellness advocate. It doesn't mean anything for wholesale customers. If you do 125, then you can earn a free oil if you order by the 15th. So when I'm doing my overviews, it's all about the customer. It's not about me getting my bonus. We've got the wrong attitude if we're doing that. But a lot of times, I'll let them know as if you want to share with friends and family, and you know, you do 100, you can get bonuses. But I'll talk to them a little bit later about if they want to upgrade. But I let them know you can get a free oil if you do that 125. And then maybe 4 times a year, doTERRA has those 200 specials. Like for this month, I let people know. I've had a lot of people upgrade, because I'm like, you're getting almost $90. If you look at the retail pricing, it's almost $90 for those 4 products. So then we jump into the account and we start adding things in there that they like. And then I ask if, so Oil Camp is changing. I'll just finish this and I'll let you do your part. If you've not yet received this skill up for me for the customer, let me know. I'll need to send it, because then you can add a customer. Whenever you then are enrolling somebody new, add your new people. It's maybe in the summer when I get some more time, I need to redo the videos. It's Angela and Eddie Villa right now. They are Blue Diamonds and doTERRA. I purchased the program from them. So it's them speaking, but it's people that are talking about those top 10 oils. It's like a 2 to 3 minute video. It goes over LRP. It goes over the lifelong vitality. So that is Oil Camp. But the nice thing about that, instead of only doing it once a month, as soon as you enroll somebody, you can jump them in that. Even before you do this overview, you can say, I'm going to send you a link. You have to email the link, and then they can start going, because that's going to keep them at the top of that emotional roller coaster. So, you know, they placed their order, so you don't have to just wait for a week. You know, give them that stuff to start looking at, and then let them know to follow back up with you if they've got questions. So that way when their kit comes, they're going to know how to use some of their oils already. So that is a way to jumpstart that. So we can reevaluate. This Oil Camp, it seems like the participation, it really varies. Sometimes, like the last couple times, we haven't had a whole lot of people in there. And I have to monitor that all the time, so it really is a lot. So this way, a couple of things. No one person has to monitor it. People can really do it. And I like that we can put people in there as soon as they enroll versus, think about it, if you enroll, now you gotta wait almost, sometimes it's 3.5 weeks before the next one comes up. So that's a nice benefit of that. And then at that second one, I asked them, you know, because in the class, we let them know there's 3 ways to play with doTERRA. We say you can be a customer, which we want everybody to be a customer because we think everybody could benefit. The second way is that you can share with friends and family and maybe make some additional income to cover the cost of your oils. And the third way, you know, this is what I do, you can jump all in and replace your income by, you know, doing doTERRA on a full-time basis. But really, this one, even the build, is based on 15 to 20 hours a week. So you could still be working a full-time job, and if you did some evenings and weekends, you could still get there. So one of the reasons I share this with people, I say this way I know how to better place you on my team, and I know what kind of support you need. So that way it's a win-win. I'm giving you what you need, and I want to give you more if you don't want it, but I want to make sure you're getting adequate support. So, and people can always change their minds. So even though you're mentioning it in the class, mention it again when you're doing your overviews. Also, we want to ask people if they're willing to host an event. Do you know somebody that would benefit? And we always want to say, you don't have to purchase something, but do you know somebody that would be willing to meet with me? We're going to get into more about referrals, so I won't steal Amy's thunder. But all,
oh, you call it more than thunder?
You know,
I guess thunder and lightning. I don't know.
Like, you just talked about placing people in your team and better support. Could you just take a couple minutes and talk about placing people on teams, or like the 3
place them,
you know, and that you can't move somebody or you can move somebody, how that works?
I